If you don't stand up, you get run over. And what's happening to me has never happened, ever, in the history of this great country. He broke me. He broke me. He broke. And then I was like, no, this isn't right. It's just not right.
And Kathy Griffin having a serious meltdown since, of course, the alt-left provocateur did what she did. But now, of course, she's trying to flip the script. You're looking at it right there. She posed with a bloody imitation of President Trump's decapitated head. But now, all of a sudden, he's the bad guy. He and his family are attacking her. This goes beyond perhaps liberal hypocrisy, but doesn't stop there. Roll tape.
The message is clear. Criticize the president, lose your job. And that's what happened to Kathy.
So if everyone who criticized the president lost their jobs, then there would be 138,000. There wouldn't have been 138,000 jobs added to the this month's jobs report. Here to discuss Madison Gesiotto and Greg Jarrett. Greg, let me start with you. Even though Madison just got her law degree, and I'll be weighing in on her expertise as well, you've written that legally it's a felony to knowingly and willfully make a threat against the president of the United States. His decapitated head comes very close, no?
Yeah, the Secret Service apparently has contacted her. They're investigating. Yeah, it's a crime. The trouble is they would have to prove that she intended to instigate an assassination of the president or some other violence against the president. That's very hard to prove. In terms of the other legal case, defamation, that the president could actually try to sue her. Parody and satire are protected speech, so is art, so is opinion. As despicable and deeply offensive as what she did, it probably would not survive a defamation case.
There is speech, though, that violates the First Amendment, though. There are certain forms of speech that can be considered a crime. Hate speech.
Yeah, hate speech, yelling fire in a crowded theater when there's no fire, and so on and so forth. But none of that would apply here. I mean, look, the fact that Kathy Griffin didn't anticipate the enormous public fallout, the scorn, suggests that she's as dumb as a bucket of hair, and then she compounds her stupidity by trying to claim the mantle that she's the victim, even though she victimized the president, right, his family, his children, and so on and so forth. I mean, Lisa Bloom ought to be ashamed of herself for trying to peddle that farce.
Well, Madison, she is trying to peddle it, and it's sort of shocking that Kathy Griffin would actually hire an attorney, and you wonder where it goes from here.
Right. I mean, I think from the very beginning, this was a desperate ploy for attention for someone with a failing career, quite frankly. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Just because the First Amendment gives you the right to say something doesn't mean it's what you should be saying or what you should be doing. She crossed the line here. People on both sides agree with that. It's out of control. And she's taking a play right out of Hillary Clinton's playbook, blaming everybody but herself. In that press conference, she took the time to blame the president on what's going on with her career. The president's Tucker Carlson, old white men. Well, I can tell you right now, she's not getting fired just because of old white men. I'm not an old white man, and I can guarantee you that if I owned a club or a restaurant that had her scheduled to perform, I would fire her from the gig, too. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. She needs to sit down and shut up.
Well, Madison, she's not sitting down. She's not shutting up. Neither is Hillary Clinton. And what do you make that they're sort of trying to at least thrust themselves to the forefront of a woman's movement? Like they're the representatives of women and the struggles and victimhood of women in America these days.
I think it's quite embarrassing because there really are real struggles that women face. There's real discrimination that's faced by women in different areas of life. And for them to get up there and say, oh, well, my personal failures and my bad decisions are sexism, it just takes away from the people who are really affected by that. Hillary Clinton lost because she ran a bad campaign. Kathy Griffin is having, struggles in her career because she's not really that funny. And what she did, like I said before,
right,
crossed the line.
Greg, I've been reading articles, too, where she actually before this, said that Barron Trump was fair game. And she suggested or hinted that she would go after him. And apparently he was watching TV when all of this unfolded, and it's had a devastating impact on him. Again, maybe there's no legal case here, but there's something so terrible about that.
She is a person who would do anything for attention. It's this sort of look at me, look at me. I mean, look at all the other stuff she's done. Undressing in Times Square on New Year's Eve on national television. Ugh. That was pretty awful to experience. We were all traumatized by that. And look, we know attention getters in our life. They're sort of loathsome and pathetic all rolled into one. She's the quintessential attention seeker. And, you know, she glommed onto Lisa Bloom, who'd walk a mile for a camera and a controversy. So there you go.
All right, perfect match. Guys, thank you both very much. What if I told you that German Chancellor Angela Merkel and GE CEO Jeff Immelt made threats that could actually be music to your ears and your wallets? That's right, American taxpayers, maybe we won't have to do all the heavy lifting after all. We'll be right back.